Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the guest of the day. I am joined by a member of House of Representatives for Koshofe constituency, Honorable Kafilat Ogbara, for discussion on ministers designate and the task of fixing Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us, Honorable.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So the last time you were on the program was exactly a week before the presidential and National Assembly elections. So congratulations on your inauguration as a member of the National Assembly. So how would you describe the experience so far?
Well, my experience in the House of Representatives, the 10th Assembly, has been that of a new legislator trying to learn fast. Maybe because some of us had been informed before we got here that most new legislators take a while to learn legislative proceedings, and how the House works. So for me, I saw that as a challenge. And I don't normally entertain challenges. I convert challenges to driving force. So I think that had been the spirit that has been driving me. I'm still learning. We have a lot to learn. And one has to be open, to learning. You don't get here and do as if you know it all or you know anything. Even your lowest level of staff can teach you a lot if you are open to learning. I think that is one of the things we even took away from our courtesy visit to the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who advised us that we must be open to learning. So in the last 1 month, I think I've been able to learn a bit. And from that, I've been able to move some motions to my name as well. And so far, so good. It has been quite educative, informative, interactive, because in this 10th Assembly, we have a lot of different political parties. And you have people from all walks of life, professionals, you have people from, different ethnic diversity, different ideology with different knowledge and ideas. So you have to have a very good interpersonal relationship with people for you to survive here. You must have the power to, lobby, to interact properly, relate to people with respect, with regard, mutual respect, of course. And of course, ensure that you're always, having a good relationship at every point in time with people, and ensure that you have no reason to have any, clashes or whatever arguments with people in any way. So, well, so far so good. It has been an interesting one for me. I'm trying to learn, but most importantly, being focused on the reason why I'm here, to legislate in the interest of Nigerians, and particularly my constituents, because I have a workload of campaign promises that I made to them, and of course, the problems that concerns my people directly. So I've, tried to remain focused on this, and that has been part of the motions that I moved as well. I moved a motion for, people living with disabilities, that government should ensure that they implement and enforce the act, that is guiding the rights of people with disabilities. During my electioneering campaign, I had interaction with them, a lot of them, and I had a bond with them as well. And it's very emotional for me because I know a lot of the challenges that they face. So, and I promised them that I was going to ensure that I look into their rights and see how I can use my good office in my own little way to influence and ensure that their rights are upheld. And that has been passed. And of course, I'm on top of it. We are on recess since yesterday, and I'm going to ensure that I'm not having any holiday. I'm still going to ensure that I pursue what I need to pursue so that I get the result to my constituents. The second one has to do with the flooding situation in my constituency as well. So, and I tried to do what I needed to do. So I'm still on top of all of them. So there's still a lot to do, but it's still a work in progress.
All right. So it's about 2 months of a new administration in the country. How will you describe President Tinubu's stewardship so far?
Well, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has achieved a lot, if you ask me, in the last 2 months compared to other administrations. And you will agree with me that immediately he got to office, he swung into action. And we have seen in all his activities, and it's not stopping, he's on the move, he's on his toes. You can see that from all the appointments he has done, from the interactions, meeting with all stakeholders. Because in this game of government, especially the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you have to ensure that when you get in, you get the right information. You settle down, you try to investigate, you try to interact, you try to make inquiries, you try to find out what the situation you have met is in the true picture, because sometimes the picture you get may not be what it really is. So for someone who wants to succeed in his administration, I think this is the foundation he's doing now. So I want to leave Nigerians with 4 Ps: that they should remain prayerful, they should remain positive, they should ensure that they support this government by also being, perseverance. They should persevere. Like the speech he said now. And of course, they have to be, positive in every way so that we can be patient to ensure that we get the desired results. Yes, patient is the 4th one. Prayerful, patient, persevere, and also remain positive. And I'm very sure we'll get there, because for some of us who campaigned for this great man to be there, campaigns are over. We know what we saw, and we know how much we believe in his ability and his capability. And he has been able to exhibit that. Even most Nigerians, we hear what some of our members speak to that effect, that they didn't know he's made of such, quality stuff, because they don't have the right information during the electioneering campaign. For some of us that stuck out our neck to campaign for him, to lobby Nigerians, campaign to Nigerians that they should vote for him, we know what we have seen, and we believe so much in this man to get us to the promised land. So I need Nigerians, I pray that all Nigerians will be more patient for this government to get its acts together, stand on its feet, lay the desired foundation so that we can have a smooth ride. Once the foundation is poor, you cannot have anywhere to stand. So I want to urge Nigerians to remain patient for this administration so that we can get to the promised land.
All right. Now, the Speaker of the House of Representatives has constituted standing committees, and you emerged as the chairman of the Committee on Women Affairs. What does this mean for your political career?
Well, I must first of all say that this position was not even in my picture at all. It just came as a surprise to me. I didn't know the committee I was in until it was announced. So for me, I want to thank God, and I want to thank the leadership of the House for deeming it fit to give me this position as the chairman of the House Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development. Women affairs has always been my area of passion. And of course, social development is one area that is key for me, because I know that the social development of Nigerians must be totally revamped. And I am glad I am here so that I will be able to contribute my quota and use my own personality as an individual to influence a lot of other things that I feel should have been done that have not been done. We will also ensure that we look into all our agenda bills that has to do with citizenship, that has to do with affirmative action, and every other bill that was rejected, and the new ideas that I have as well, because I am coming in to ensure that we achieve our aim in a subtle manner, lobby our men, make them understand. And of course, I am very positive. By the time I leave the 10th Assembly, we would have had a very good result. We are going to ensure that we amend, repeal existing laws to promote gender inclusion and female participation in politics. We will also ensure that we promote issues of women and vulnerables in the society. We have a lot of agenda for the 10th Assembly already. As you can see, I'm still in the office, it's 8 p.m. and I'm still working because I know I have a lot to do. The time as a politician, once you are elected into any political office, you have a very short time. For me, I believe that immediately it starts, it has ended. That's the way I look at things. So while I'm in there for that short period, I want to ensure that I contribute my quota. I've started political participation since I was in the University of Lagos. I was a student union leader, and I've always been very passionate about the welfare of people, ensuring that people in leadership, they do what they need to do in the interest of the people. I'm a person of the people, and I am going to ensure that the little time I have here is worth the while.
All right, so you talked about having some ideas that will help you effectively carry out your duties. Would you like to share some of these ideas with us?
Well, maybe I'll just tip some, because sometimes when you want to do things, you don't need to expose it until you get the results. That's how I play my politics, and it has always worked for me. But for me, I believe that no matter what, every political party must not present any list to the electoral body without a woman in any state, in any political party. We are going to move that, and we will ensure that it comes to life. The electoral body must not accept any list from any political party for legislative houses, whether House of Assembly, Federal House of Assembly, whichever one, without a woman. Most houses of assembly and the House of Representatives in most states are usually, some have 20. For instance, in Lagos, we have 24, and I'm the only woman there. So it has to be a minimum of a woman. But there's a way we are going to, address this, that it will get through by the grace of God. So this is just one of them.
All right, then. Thank you. Now, the Speaker allocated 80 committee chairmen to APC lawmakers and 54 to opposition parties. I mean, some people say it looks like a winner takes all, especially when APC does not have overwhelming majority in the House. How will you react to this accusation?
Well, the leadership of the House, in their wisdom, have done what they think is best. And I remember during the campaign for the leadership of the House, we had, different political parties supporting the interests of the leadership that we have today, of Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas and Honorable Benjamin Kalu as our Speaker and Deputy Speaker, respectively. And I believe that a lot of interest must have been looked, and a lot of procedure and, action must have gone through the procedure for them to elect people to be chairman and deputy chairman. Don't forget also that we have all submitted our CVs. They have to look at your expertise, your past experience as a legislator, not just because you are a legislator. It has to be a round peg in a round hole. So I think they must have considered a lot of, considerations. Like I said, I was not part of anything. I'm not a leader of the House. I'm just an ordinary member. And I didn't know, I'm a Muslim, I cannot lie. I didn't know where I was until it was announced. So many people didn't know. So it was just announced. Whatever it is they looked at, whatever they checked, I wouldn't know for them to have given me this position. Likewise, all other positions. But the truth and the reality is that we all know that everybody cannot be chairman of a committee, and everybody cannot be deputy chairman of the committee, because we know that we have limited number of all these committees. But there are some committees that even where you are just a member, it will go a long way in you, putting in your experience and also contributing, your quota in your own little way to ensure that the desired result is gotten. And for me, anywhere I find myself is service to humanity. So I will only appeal to all our members that we should see wherever we find ourselves as service to Nigerians, service to humanity, and that is exactly why we are here. But I'm sure that the leadership knows best. I'm not in the best position to speak about that question, but I know that they did their best.
All right, so as the House Committee Chairman on Women Affairs, how will you describe the role of women in party politics and national development?
Well, the role of women in politics and national development cannot be overemphasized because the truth is that women play a prominent role in everything we do politically. Without women, you cannot have the number of votes you have as a politician, irrespective of the position you are contesting for. And if you look at even the number of ministers that our president has given us in the list submitted so far, I think we have about 25% already, which is highly commendable. We appreciate our president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for listening, to the voice of the women, for listening to the yearnings of the women, because even the list is not complete yet, and already we have 25%, setting. So we have about 7 women on that list, and if you look at them, you know that these are women that have been able to prove their worth, some politically, professionally, and otherwise. Some people will tell you that they are politicians. We have technocrats that are politically active, and this are the array of some of the women you see on that list. You see Dr. Betta Edu, who is presently our national woman leader. But Dr. Betta Edu is not just from my constituency as a woman. She also represents the constituency of youth, because Dr. Betta Edu is just 36 years old. She will be the youngest minister that we're going to have, by the grace of God. And you can also see, what's her name? Stella Okotete. She was also a former woman leader, a brilliant young woman as well. I think she's in her early 40s, I think 40 or 40, 41, between 41 and 42, I guess. You also see a lot of other women there that have proved their worth. We see ranking lawmaker there, Nkiru Onyejocha, who has been in the legislative house with a lot of legislative experience. She has been a former local government chairman. And these are brilliant women that have been able, to prove their worth over time in terms of experience, expertise in their various fields. Most of them are master's degree holders. Most of them, on that list, you find lawyers, you find economists, you find accountants, chartered accountants. You find a lot of people that have the experience, unique Nigerians. I saw the name of former Governor Nyesom Wike. This goes to show what we are saying about our president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that he looks for the best of best hands. Who in Nigeria will say that Governor Nyesom Wike, former Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, is not one of the best governors we have in Nigeria? This is a man that did so much for his people, that was so compassionate, so caring, so particular about the interests of his people. He did so much, and you're like, what were the other governors before him? What were they doing? If this man could do so much, he has left a mark. And we expect that people like this, not because they have been former governors, people criticize that they are former governors, what are they looking for? No, when you have people that have something to offer, we must maximally utilize their potential in the interest of our country. And this is what we expect from this government. By the time the cabinet is constituted, I'm very sure that all these brains coming together in the interest of Nigeria, to reinvent Nigeria, to rebuild, to replan, and to fix Nigeria, like your title has said, we are going to see a lot of difference in the very near future. Because I know that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself knows that he has limited time, just the way I think. We have very limited time, and we have a lot to do in the interest of our people. And I know that he is very, very passionate about touching the lives of people positively. And so with this, I'm very positive that very, very soon, Nigerians will smile. And like we have said, we just need to be a little bit patient. They are looking for immediate, alternative, immediate palliative to redeem the situation that we have on hand. And like he also said, that to give birth to a thing of joy, it comes with pain if we want to have a child. But once the child comes out, there is joy in the air. So let us just be endurant. Let us endure just for a little while. By the grace of God, all will be well. We mean well for Nigerians. We share your pain. We are with you in every way. And that is why we are here. We are not here for any other reason. We are here to serve you. We are here to do your bidding. We are here to listen to you, to do exactly what we need to do to ensure that we have a better Nigeria. Please be rest assured, Nigerians, that we are here for you.
All right. So, Honorable, I would like you to tell us about the relationship between you female members of the House of Representatives. How cordial is it?
Very cordial, very cordial. If you saw our visit to the First Lady, you find out that everybody was there. The senators and every member of the House of Representatives. The only member that was absent is out of the country. That's the leader that we have, the only female leader in the leadership, the deputy whip that we have in the House, Honorable Nonuga. So because she was out of the country, she couldn't make it. So we are very together, and it's going to make the job very easier for us to work as women, to impact, to ensure that what we need to do is done. You know that the lens with which women see things is different from the way men see things. And this is why we have been clamoring that a nation that underutilizes over 50% of our population is not helping herself. And this is why I know that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself knows that he has to ensure that more women come up in his appointed positions. Even beyond the ministerial appointments, there are other positions to the boards of parastatals, agencies, and all that. So even some special duties, there are things that will be done that don't even need to do with elected officers, that you may need to employ, specialists, that you may need to employ, consultants. Women do a lot in this regard, and we have a lot to offer. We are more compassionate, we are more passionate about issues that concerns the vulnerables, that concerns the Nigerians generally. And when we are given assignments to do, we want to prove a point that we are better than anybody. So we need our men to see reason in this regard, to appreciate that fact that we are always ready to serve. We are always ready to prove our worth, even beyond your expectation. So Asiwaju has seen this, and this is why I'm sure he has elected those women that have seen. Immediately I saw that list, I was glad that he's making use of one of the best of women that we have in Nigeria.